certain times of the year are trigger points in my life, like October. We had bad battle time, so it comes back, and you say, well, I'm not to think about it, but you don't have to think, it just sneaks up on you. It's like a ghost in the night saying, hello, I'm back, so you learn to deal with that, and you feel the triggers coming. Your brain's acting on smells, sounds, that bring memories up. And you'd be surprised the things, like certain songs can get me off, get me rolling right down the hill with anger, depression, and then others will do the complete opposite, cheer me up. So, no, it's how can I put it? It's things that you have to learn, and you need outside help to look at you. You need a sounding board.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for coming out today on this beautiful day. It's just such a great ceremony that we're going to have today. A long time in making, but much cooperation, and for an extremely worthy cause. Let me begin by telling you who I am. I am Gus Frangos, President and General Counsel of the Cuyahoga Land Bank. I will be your Master of Ceremonies today for the Greater Cleveland Fisher House Land Transfer Ceremony. On behalf of the Cuyahoga Land Bank, the Greater Cleveland Fisher House, and the Northeast Ohio VA Healthcare System, thank you all for being here. I'd like a moment to thank the following folks who are here today representing many organizations, offices, and people who have helped over the past 5 years to make this possible. Let me begin by introducing the most important people here today, and that is the Glenville Youth Group, our young people. Everybody else is important too, but you're the future leaders. I'd like to recognize Bill Anderson, Congresswoman Marcia Fudge's office. When I call your name out, just raise your hand. Brian Bowman and Aaron Locker from Congressman Jim Renace's office. Of course, Mayor Jackson, our mayor. Anthony Brancatelli, who is the Cleveland City Council Ward 12 councilman and our Cuyahoga Land Bank chairman. We couldn't do much without Tony. Kevin Conwell, who is the councilman for this ward, and he'll be speaking a little bit later. Jack Schran, strong supporter from Cuyahoga County Council. Yvonne Conwell, the county council representative from this district. She's way in the back there. Say hi, Yvonne. Debbie Berry from University Circle. Is Chris Ronayne here? Or? Okay, Debbie Berry. And of course, John Analifo. Say hi, John. Very instrumental in helping this happen. And Doug Harvey from the Greater Cleveland Fisher House. Getting here today has taken a lot of hard work and dedication from the community, the city, the Cuyahoga Land Bank, the VA, all in the name of our nation's heroes. Veterans receiving care here in Cleveland are one step closer to having their family members nearby to support them in their recovery. Before I introduce our guests, I want to just briefly say I am somewhat embarrassed to say that 4 years ago I didn't know what Fisher House was. I attended a county council meeting and I heard Jack Schran passionately advocating for Fisher House, and I thought I just have to find out what the heck Fisher House is, and so the rest is history. We caught the bug, as you say, Jack, and the rest is history. This was something that the land bank and all of the partners this just had to happen. This was a passion that we needed to see come to conclusion, and providentially, within a few days of me learning what Fisher House was, Tom Sweeney showed up in our office, who was the president of the Greater Cleveland Fisher House, and he was probably in our office every other week advocating, asking, trying to find out, making contact, and seeing how we could do the research necessary to put this piece of land, this assemblage together. So without further ado, before we officially hand over the deed to the VA, we would like to have Doug Harvey from the Greater Cleveland Fisher House say a few words about the efforts and the support from the community which got us to this point. Doug, would you please step forward?
Good morning, everybody. Rain held off. Thanks for ordering that up, Mayor. We appreciate that. Thank you, Gus. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Director, VA, and our distinguished guests. Driving in this morning, seeing this, I live down in Hudson, so driving in this morning, seeing the skyline, Progressive Field, the Q, and all that's happening here in Cleveland, I thought to myself, what a great time to be part of this wonderful city. And the Fisher House is one more piece of that puzzle. Again, my name is Doug Harvey. I'm the Vice President of the Greater Cleveland Fisher House Task Force. Tom Sweeney, our President, and Rick DeChant could not be here today, so we wanted to say thank you to all their efforts. They're really the spearheads of this. For those of you who don't know what a Fisher House is, it's a comfort home where military and veterans, families can stay at no cost while their loved ones are receiving treatment. Currently, there are 72 houses in operation around the globe, with 8 houses currently under construction. And if I'm correct, I think this will be the 81st Fisher House amongst the Fisher House networks. Here are a couple interesting facts about the Fisher House since 1991. It was started by a builder, philanthropist, patriot, Zach Fisher, and his wife Elizabeth in 1990. The first house was built at Walter Reed Hospital and Bethesda Naval. They were both built in the same year, 1991, and they're both dedicated by President Bush. Here's what's interesting. 305 families since 1991 have stayed in the Fisher House. That equates to 7 million days of lodging. The real number is that's actually $360 million saved, that we have saved families of our militaries and veterans. Now, I gotta tell you something, that is an unbelievable, awesome gift from Zach Fisher. As many of you know, the amount of families that come to the VA, many families come here to the VA for treatment. And since the need is so great, the Fisher House Corporate has decided to not only build one, but 2 16-unit homes on this particular site. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. Really, I think this is really a tribute to Susan and the VA and the entire staff. The care they provide our military and veteran community is outstanding, and we're so lucky and fortunate to have such a wonderful facility. I've been a part of this mission for 3 years. It's been both humbling and exciting, and I'm glad to see this finally come into fruition. This would not be possible if it weren't for the wonderful donors that have not only provided financial means, but also volunteer hours, blood, sweat, and some tears, mostly of joy. Our donor list is long and distinguished, a great representation of a great city. We have received donations from large corporations like KeyBank, Dominion Gas, Lincoln Electric, Eaton, Lubrizol, First Energy, Cleveland Foundation, and PNC. Many American Legions, numerous veterans organizations, the DAV, many family foundations, and just individuals that have military ties or military family, all have given. What also has been wonderful to see is the charitable community that has reached out and chose the Fisher House as their benefactor. Motorcycle rides, church dinners, 3-on-3 basketball tournaments, lacrosse tournaments, golf tournaments, potluck dinners, bake sales, pancake breakfast. I think you're starting to see the community really reached out. All made possible, they've all made it possible to have this finally come into fruition. In closing, I just personally thank a couple of folks, Tom Sweeney and Rick DeChant, who could not be here today. They're the president and the treasurer of the Greater Cleveland Fisher House Foundation, the real spearheads of this project. Without those two, their energy, their persistence, their vision, this would not be possible. They're my 2 favorite vets. Also want to say thank Gus and John, Gus from the County Land Bank and John from the Flamingos Family Foundation. Without your persistence and dedication in putting this land together, this would not be possible. And also want to thank the City of Cleveland, University Circle, county workers, and those who live in this neighborhood for your cooperation and patience. We thank you. Our warriors come home bearing the wounds of war. It is our duty as Americans to fix them. We like to say a family's love is the best medicine, and today we are one step closer to putting these families in a Cleveland Fisher House. Thank you all, God bless America, and have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you, Doug. It's a privilege for me to introduce my next guest because there was a time in my past life that I served with him in Cleveland City Council. Frank, I did have the sense to leave at some point, but I can say that having served with Mayor Jackson, there is no more passionate individual, no more passionate leader for his then neighborhood, for his now city. And it's a distinct pleasure for me to introduce him. He is a veteran himself, and I know his passion for our veterans burns in his blood. So it's my privilege to introduce the Cleveland City Mayor Frank Jackson to say a few words about the city's commitment to our veterans.
Good morning. And how are you this morning? Good, good. You know, I want to congratulate Greater Cleveland Fisher House on this, along with the VA, but really want to thank all the people who made it possible. You know, I was talking to Gus earlier, and he was talking about how he was assembling the land and how he had to talk to people. And what he mentioned to me was the thing that I recognize most about Cleveland, and that is everything that we've done and we've been successful at, we've done as a community, and we put aside our self-interest or organizational interest to help out in that. And that just demonstrates the passion that people have towards veterans. And I remember about 3 years ago, 3 years ago, Councilman Conwell brought the team in from the Fisher House to talk to me about this project and how passionate they were. And I just want to say to everyone that whenever I visit the VA, and I talk to the men and the women at the VA, not only those who provide the service, but for the veterans who receive the service, there's a great need that they have, a great need that they have. And they've made great sacrifices for us. And now, because of those sacrifices, they have these great needs. And this, from the Fisher House, is part of servicing that need to help our veterans recover from whatever it is that they need to recover from. So again, congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you for those words, Mayor Jackson. The community is also a critical and supercritical element of the success of any project as complex as this. Councilman Kevin Conwell, who represents this community and lives in the community, we want to thank Councilman Conwell for his support of this project and welcome him to provide his perspective on what the Fisher House project means to the community. We thank him for his support. Councilman Conwell?
Good morning. Today is a great day. Today is a great day. Wife, you want to come up here? She said, no. You know, when Gus first reached out to me some years ago about this project, I had an understanding because Susan and I had a great relationship, and I'd always go over to VA, as I mentioned to you. If you need me to volunteer, that I would be there. So when you look up, you have always kept your doors open to me, even unannounced, Mr. Mayor. I visit her like I visit you, unannounced. Sometimes I just walk in and I want to help, so her doors is always open. And I even bring my band over there and we play for the veterans, and the veterans, as we say in the musical world, they dig that. So that's very cool. Here on this site, I was very happy. Matter of fact, I'm still happy. I'm overjoyed, and the people in the community they're overjoyed as well, because this site, we've been trying to get University Circle, Debbie Berry, to come down to this area to create a big project like this. I've already started talking with developers to build market rate housing, John and Alifo, around this area. That's the spillover effect. It's going to benefit us. It's going to benefit Asbury and Orville and Hall and Wade Park because of this big project and housing is going to be built around it. And then what I see with my vision, Tony Brancatelli, is that we can do economic development right from here. It's the spillover effect. This project is like taking a pebble and you throw it into the pond. And when you throw it into the pond, all the energy will spread out to benefit my residents and the people in the community. We are so happy that this is coming here. And anything that we can do to help, we're going to do that. And we're going to make it work. And we met Doug with John and Alifo and Sweeney to put this piece here. And I will show whatever leadership. The mayor is right. We came to his office. We brought people there, Jack Schron, to share the vision with the mayor, what we need here. So we're going to build this, and we're going to build it over throughout the whole entire community to make our community, as you would say, Mr. Mayor, great again. So I'm here, and thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Councilman. I think the councilman has some enthusiasm for his community. Passion. And he's always displayed that. He's been to my office so many times on so many issues, big and small. So we appreciate that. I'm going to wait for those sirens to leave before I introduce our next speaker. Okay. It's a distinct privilege to introduce the next speaker. This person is a no-nonsense leader from the start, and I just think that this would not have happened without her leadership. I can't believe the day is finally here. I'm so grateful to Susan Fuhrer. I would like to invite her to speak officially and to accept the deed to this land on behalf of the VA and the Northeast Ohio VA healthcare system. As director of the Northeast Ohio VA healthcare system, Susan has been an integral part of advocating for veterans receiving care in Cleveland and for their need for a Fisher House at this site. Susan, thank you.
Yes, I think we hand it over now.
And ladies and gentlemen, here is the original official deed of this land going from the Cuyahoga Land Bank to the, let me read it here, United States of America. Whoa, I've never deeded something to the U.S. To the United States of America for and on behalf of the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Has been said. There are so many people here from the community, and I want to extend the sincere appreciation from the entire VA. You know, over the last 10 years, we have done a bit of construction, close to $750 million of construction to serve more than 8,000 veterans every single day right here in this neighborhood. And the entire community has always stepped forward with grace and patience to ensure our veterans get the highest quality of care possible. This Fisher House is one of the last kingpins that we have been working on for more than a decade. And it would not have happened had it not been for the community and some special people, particularly Gus. So, I said, Gus negotiated. As he said, he's never given land to the U.S. government before. It is not easy. It is not easy at all. And Gus persevered. When I ran out of nice, he still had nice. He dealt through the bureaucracy. He, John Analifo, the Greater Cleveland Fisher House, UCI, the mayor, the councilman, Jack Schron, you were the one that took it to the city, the county, right from the beginning and said, hey, we need to make this happen. And all of you are going to benefit from this because our nation's heroes and frankly their families are finally going to have not one but two Fisher houses. The first ever for the Fisher Foundation to ever put two Fisher homes up at one time. So the community's generous donations of $3.4 million are going to be returned by the National Fisher Foundation in terms of $9 million for $12 million worth of construction right on this spot. So my sincere thanks to everyone. I can't think of a more important time of year to transfer this land as we begin to celebrate the 4th of July, our freedom as a country. Thank you all. God bless you. No, don't go anywhere. This is just a certificate of appreciation to the Cuyahoga County Land Bank in recognition and appreciation of your tireless support. I'm not going to read it all because I can hear the thunder, but thank you very much. Doug, could you please come up? Come on this side. Thank you. This again is in recognition and appreciation of the Greater Cleveland Fisher Foundation. These guys worked weekends, every time, raising money a dime at a time, and it all worked out. Thank you both. Thanks, everyone. Now, without further ado, John Analifo, Mr. Schron, Councilman, Mayor, could you all please come up? Okay, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Keep it coming, there we go.